Jason, what if I told you that you had to work
No.
6 days a week?
No.
No, yes.
Yes,
a
no.
lot of people would say no
I feel
to
like
that.
5 days a week for the amount of hours you work is already kind of a lot. Because I feel like if you already take work home with us, and it's like it's this constant like thinking about work or like answering emails on. Anyways,
It's always
as you're saying,
as
6 days,
as 6 days a week. What if I told you 7?
7 days a week.
No. We're sticking with 6. We're sticking with 6. And the reason I say that is because a major tech company will reportedly make top bosses work 6 days a week. Insane. In this economy, yes, executives at Samsung, which make many of the world's TVs and smartphones, reportedly have to pick up an extra shift.
That's interesting that they would make the top bosses work an extra day versus like the regular workers.
But think about this. What if they're already working 6 days a week?
The employees are working 6 days a week already.
Everyone is working 6 days a week. No. So the thing is that the weekend is about to look a little less like the weekend for bosses at one of the largest technology and manufacturing companies, Samsung. Because of this news, Samsung will soon require its executives to work 6 days a week, according to an April 18th report from the Korea Economics Daily. The Korea-based conglomerate, which makes Galaxy smartphones, flat screen televisions, applications, and a wide range of other devices. In the tech industry, it generates tens of billions of dollars in revenue every quarter. But after a weak financial year, the executives leading that effort will have to put one extra work day. And I have a couple more things to say about this. But before that, if you like interesting content like this, consider subscribing. We put out interesting content daily. We have a library of over 400 videos. And the thing is, subscribing is free. It doesn't cost anything. And it does really help out the channel. So consider subscribing. What are your thoughts on that? Working 6 days a week just because you did not have a stellar last financial year.
It's basically punishment.
It basically is punishment at that point.
I mean, I feel like it's just gonna be them working that extra day.
Yeah. So the thing is, considering that performance of their major units, including Samsung Electronics, fell short of expectations in 2023, they are introducing the 6-day work week for executives to inject a sense of crisis and make all-out efforts to overcome it. An unnamed Samsung group told the news. Samsung Electronics is Samsung's group flagship subsidiary. So, like you said, basically punishment. How would you feel if they made you work 6 days a week because they want to put more crisis into you?
I will say that shit rolls downhill.
No,
And
my God.
if the executives are all unhappy, they're gonna make the managers unhappy, and then this is gonna go down to the last person. Like, work harder.
It all comes down from the top, by the way. It legitimately does, and I feel like this...
Like, the work culture is being, like, they're being overworked.
Yeah, I feel...
Well, maybe not overworked. I don't know, like freaking stressed out.
I would imagine you're overworked with 6 days a week.
I mean, depends on what they do.
Yeah, that's
What are they doing with their time then?
Elon Musk says he works 7 days a week.
I believe it.
But then sometimes he's on flights, and like I
Yeah,
feel like he
he's
counts
working
work as work. I feel like his term of work is different from our term of work. Yeah. But yes, the thing is, for some executives, the policy began as early as April. It's worth noting that many of the bosses may have already been putting in a 6th work day.
It makes sense.
Yeah, for a lot of people, like you mentioned, they're already working overtime, but they're just not like locking it in. They check their phones, they check their emails, they do extra amount of work.
That is true. I think a lot of this, it comes down to the fact that a lot of these executives and people in like upper management, middle management potentially are in meetings all day.
Yeah.
So if you're in a meeting, you have no time to actually do work.
That is true.
So if you're like constantly in meetings, which they probably are,
they haven't gotten a chance to do the work.
To do any of the work, to review any of the stuff that like they talk at meetings. So like maybe it would be like beneficial to have a day to like this review what they did in the week.
I actually don't know if they're actually going to be putting in a full workday, but at the same time, if the company is saying it's like this is crisis mode,
Yeah.
it does provide like them a sense of urgency, and I feel like what you said, that rolls downhill. It's
Yeah.
going to roll down to the employees. It's going to roll down to everyone,
The
and
culture.
yeah, to the culture. I usually hear this term. It's either feast or famine, and it seems like they're in famine right
They're
now.
they're really really struggling.
Yeah.
So I guess some background is that this is the Samsung Electronics division, and a lot of times I think they're because before they had record years because of the semiconductor shortage.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I think it's difficult for the company to continue showing such aggressive growth in the face of, I guess, not a shortage. There's plenty of semiconductors right now. The hot topic is AI, and I'm not too sure if they're making AI chips.
Yeah, you know what is also interesting? I remember reading some comments saying that they're like record-breaking amount of sales in terms of phones. So
For Samsung?
for Samsung, yeah, like they're selling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like Samsung phones are pretty much like you get like Apple, you get Samsung, you get Google. There's only a few like options that you could really get in terms of phones, or phones that people deem like higher like end phones. But yeah, so the thing is, but now that Saturday or Sunday at work is a requirement, a move that pushes Samsung in the opposite direction of some Bay Area tech startups. The 4-day work week, a political position of progressives like Bernie Sanders, caught some traction with tech firms in San Francisco and Oakland during the pandemic. The 4-day work week, which is also like, that's pretty nice. People working 4 days a week.
Yeah, I think that's like a double-edged sword in some aspects in terms of like you'll have to be working
More,
longer hours
yeah,
those days
to make up the work. Yeah.
So you'd be working like tens at the very minimum.
I would imagine so, yeah. So the thing is, through much of Samsung's leadership is based in Korea, a few groups of the Bay Area executives could be hit by the new mandate. Chip maker Samsung Semiconductor has its U.S. headquarters in San Jose, and a research and development arm called Samsung Research America has its main office in Mountain View, so in the Bay Area. So yeah, it is crazy that this is happening, and it being so like people here in the Bay Area could be affected by this too, or at least executives here could be affected as well.
I mean, they get paid a lot.
They do get paid the big bucks for.
They get paid.
For
I mean, this is like, if they need to buckle down and that's what the company says to do, this is what they're gonna have to do.
Yeah. It'd be interesting. I feel like what other company would do this? I feel like none. I feel like
really.
I feel like Google wouldn't do this, or Apple wouldn't do this. Institute a 6-day work
Tesla
week.
would be like,
Oh,
we work 10 days a week.
Yeah, Tesla is a completely
They're
different.
making up a new day.
Yes, that is true. But Elon
Tesla
Musk,
day.
Tesla day.
It is right.
Yeah. But
Slotted between Friday and Saturday.
I feel like at what point would you trade in your extra like time for money, because you can't really buy back your time.
Yeah. But if the company is doing bad, that's directly linked to your money at that point. If like the company is doing bad would you rather put in the extra hours or get like laid off?
That is true.
Like you could put in the hours to like make things better, or they're going to have to be, it's going to be your ass on the line.
I do wonder if they will eventually do a reversal on that. If the company starts doing well, it's like, will they institute like a...
If it does worse.
If it does worse, then you're working 7 days a week.
No, I feel like they would reverse it if it does worse.
I do feel...
Because it's like, they're not getting enough rest and causing things to continue to get worse.
Do you think that they're probably paying them more now that they're working?
No. They're all salary.
Oh, yeah, you're right. They're probably all salary.
The thing is that, like, the incentive typically for these types of companies is that it's tied to a bonus of some kind. So, like, the fact that they've gone past, like, we're not giving any bonuses out. And in fact, you're actually working longer now because we can't give you negative bonuses, but we're gonna make you work more. So it's like a negative bonus.
Oh, that's crazy.
Actually, you know what? It is a negative bonus.
It is a negative bonus.
It's like we can't charge you in dollars, but I can charge you in time.
Yeah, but I would want to hear from our audience what they think about this. Do you think that these executives deserve to work more?
I think that the expectation that Samsung's technology division is going to make any money like similar to what they did in the past is like kind of loony.
Yeah.
I think like unless they may start making AI chips, and then they're going to be, what is it, Korean Nvidia.
Yeah.
Korean Nvidia.
Yeah, but let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below.